can go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Good evening. CMS leadership has done it again. Their style of leadership has forced the resignation of the principal of Audrey Kell High School, a top-tier educational district focused on Crown service and capturing kids' hearts should go above and beyond to discuss, rectify, and fully disclose any alleged missteps of a veteran principal. One would think that CMS leadership would have the insight and appreciation to show some respect for a 30-plus year principal who's shown consistent service. CMS leadership continues to operate by any means necessary mentality to cover their lack of preparation, comprehension, and decisions. Where's the concern for our school community? Where's the transparency? Where's the integrity? The handling of the forced resignation of the principal of Audrey Kell High School was unacceptable and lowbrow. On last Tuesday, we were informed by the media of her suspension. Thursday of the same week, CMS told us of her resignation. Now, because of their thoughtlessness and self-serving behavior, nearly 850 students will be graduating without their principal. How is CMS leadership able to achieve and provide excellence if they cannot exemplify excellence and transparency to the students, the parents, and the staff they serve? Now, you all are on notice. We need you to be more involved in the conversations and decisions of the CMS executive team. We need you to permit the principal of Audrey Kell High School to attend and speak at the Audrey Kell graduation. And lastly, we need you all to do better. Every single student deserves an educational system that functions better than this. Thank you all.
Kelly Ludwig. All right, you can proceed.
Hi, my name is Stephen Haregrove, and I'm a parent of 3 boys that attend Charlotte East Language Academy. And I'm a teacher at Audrey Kell High School, so I have a lot to say tonight. On May 12th, my wife was taking my kids to school when they saw a fleet of ICE vehicles arresting a father on his way to morning drop-off. When my 10-year-old son asked to attend a protest, he made a sign that said, "My friends shouldn't live in fear." There's been a lot of fear, hurt, and anger also at Audrey Kell the last couple of weeks. There's been several principals from across this district who have been removed in stealth with no explanation. I wonder if the pattern and method of these suspensions have been about the consolidation of power instead of the guards and guardrails that you have envisioned. I teach comparative politics, so I'll tell you that the core tactic of authoritarian regimes is the arbitrary exercise of power to create a culture of fear. I want to be clear, I'm not equating the pain of deportation ripping families apart to the ignominious end of a celebrated educator's career. What I am saying is that I worry that the goal in both these cases is to make people afraid of transgressing a life-altering invisible line. Is that not the message being sent to the staff of CMS? You can have a full career, be beloved of staff and students, and lead one of the state's top-performing schools by every metric, and all of it gone with only media rumors remaining. Do you want to cow the other principals of CMS at the expense of drying up potential administrative recruits given this fearful climate? I also have 2 requests to demonstrate your support of immigrant communities. First, that you allow community-based organizations to provide Know Your Rights information and training directly to families. Second, to provide in-person trauma-informed training for teachers around family separation and immigration. Thank you.
Barbie Gearhart. Ms. Ludwig.
My name is Kelly Ludwig, and I'm a frustrated parent from Audrey Kell. I stand before you tonight because I want to express my deep dissatisfaction about the recent communication of Ms. Brooks' retirement and the leadership of our superintendent. While I respect the superintendent's position, I have deep concerns about how she has treated Ms. Brooks and the AK teachers, admin, and staff who work tirelessly to serve our students. Leadership should inspire, support, and empower, not intimidate, dismiss, or belittle. AK administrators and teachers describe an environment of fear with district leaders rather than collaboration. We're speaking of risk, whilst we're speaking up risks retaliation rather than resolution. AK teachers and staff are exhausted, demoralized, and frankly afraid. And when the people who teach our children and run our schools are treated with disrespect, dishonesty, and lack of transparency, our students pay the price. A school district thrives when its leaders foster trust, respect, and open communication. Instead, morales are deteriorating, talented educators are leaving or are forced to leave, not because of the students or the community, but because they are undervalued and undersupported by central administration. These turnovers harm our schools, our communities, but mostly our students. I urge the board to take a deeper look in the details of Ms. Brooks' retirement, along with the ongoing lack of transparency and horrific communication. Investigate the climate under the superintendent's leadership. Ask yourselves, is this a culture we want for our district? Are we prioritizing power over partnership? Our students deserve leaders who model respect, empathy, and integrity. They had one with Ms. Brooks. Our principals deserve leadership that uplifts the professionals dedicating their lives to education, not those who undermine them. We deserve better. Our students deserve better. It's time to stop enabling leaders who rule by fear.
Carla Stovall.
Hey y'all, my name is Barbie Gearhart and I have 7 children and I have had 5 in CMS. I have 1 grandchild in CMS. I'm a registered voter, as are 5 of my children, and my husband's a registered voter also. I met Jamie Brooks when she was the principal at Community House Middle School with her famous Welcome to Middle School orientation. And she was awesome even back then. And when she became principal of the high school and my children were in the high school, I was overjoyed. And there is nothing that makes me feel more safe, especially in a climate where, like the young girl was talking about school shootings, where I know that my children are in good hands when Jamie's there. I know that. I feel better about that. I would email her every year and tell her that. That's a special thing. That's an important thing. That's a safe thing. That's a special thing. And that doesn't come with everybody. We were asked the other day what kind of characteristics we want in a principal. We have it. Y'all have her curriculum vitae. Y'all have had it for 30 years. You know exactly what we want. We have it. Y'all let it walk right out the door. You suspended her. You won't even tell us why. Now, if you had a reason to suspend her and found a reason to hold her accountable for an action, that's your business. But you held a reason to hold her accountable and still pay her. So it wasn't so egregious that you fired her and you took her pay away, but it was egregious enough she couldn't be there. So if you're going to pay her to stay home, then you should tell us what it was about. But if you're going to fire her or force her into retirement and then turn around and ask me, what is it I want in a principal? I want Jamie. That's what I want. That's what I've wanted.
Heather McAfee.
Should I begin?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Carla Stovall, and I'm an Audrey Kell parent and president of the PTSO. My concerns about timing are as follows. Number 1, why was the building update sent on the 23rd of May? That's almost 3 weeks from the date that Mrs. Brooks was reported as suspended. May 3rd, 4th, or 5th would have been fine. May 23rd, not so much. So that was confusing. Timing Why did the administrators, staff, and parents not get the courtesy of hearing about the suspension prior to it being shared with the news media? That was hurtful and disrespectful. Timing. Why was this done at the end of the school year during exams and all the other activities that happen at the end of a typical school year? Senior celebrations and tournaments and so many other things. Our principal was not there, and that is how we knew, because she was always there. Timing. If there was to be a retirement, why wasn't she given the opportunity to do so at the end of the school year versus when it took place? That felt targeted and unfair. Timing. If a principal is so heinous that she needed to be removed immediately, that implies she must be a danger to our students. If my child was in harm's way under Jamie Brooks, I needed to know that immediately. It felt like you did not care about my child. Altogether, your timing was inexcusable. Jamie Brooks is one of the most transparent principals ever. Our school board could take a lesson from her. The CMS school district would be better off if it was run like Jamie Brooks ran AK. In the very least, we deserve an apology. At the best, the board needs to review and change its policies regarding communication. And for other families that are out there, watch out, your school could be next. Isn't that right, Randolph Middle? We are AK Nation, and we are AK Strong. Thank you.
Karen Morris. You can proceed.
Good evening. My name is Heather McAfee. I'm a proud Audrey Kell parent of 3 children, a community advocate, and a founder of a nonprofit that's provided over $500,000 in food support to families in 11 CMS schools in the past 5 years. But tonight, I'm here as someone who has worked closely with Jamie Brooks for the last 8 years on school improvement teams at Community House and Audrey Kell. And I am heartbroken, not just by what happened, but how it was handled. Jamie Brooks is not just a principal, she's the heartbeat of our school. She shows up early, stays late, at every game, every meeting, every hard conversation. She leads with strength, integrity, and deep compassion. She works harder than anyone I know because she believes every child and every educator she serves. And now, after 30 years of dedicated service to CMS, she is being pushed out quietly, without transparency, and during one of the most critical weeks of the school year. It's not just unprofessional, it's harmful. It erodes trust and breaks the spirit of the school community that she poured her soul in. Our students deserve stability. Our staff deserves clarity, not fear. And our community deserves answers. So what now? Jamie should be offered the opportunity to be reinstated. Her record and leadership speak for themselves. If there is no other option, then honor her publicly, like the principal of South Charlotte, and acknowledge that Audrey Kell's accomplishments that Dr. Hill highlighted in the parent school message on Tuesday, that all made possible under Jamie's leadership. Finally, I urge this board to review how this case has been handled compared to other situations in the district and share those findings with the community. We cannot learn or rebuild with silence. Jamie Brooks deserves better, and so does the AK community.